Hello and welcome to my comic book review video. I will be reviewing the books that were released on the 29th of August 2012. It's a bit late. Simple reason, I've had a cough, a really annoying cough for 2 weeks, and I didn't figure that a video of me coughing for 20 minutes and reviewing comics for 10 would be popular. So, I've left it. Hopefully by the end of this week I will have caught up with all the books that I've missed reviewing all the weeks. So we start off with the 29th of August, and the first book we will be reviewing is Green Lantern Annual number 1, written by Geoff Johns, art by Ethan Van Sciver. You can see there from the top of it, it's the Rise of the Third Army prologue. So this kicks off the new big event that's going to take place in the latter part of this year. The story, if you remember issue 12 of Green Lantern, Black Hand had the prophecy that Hal Jordan was going to become the greatest Black Lantern ever. So because Black Hand's the only one with a black power ring, he figures that means that Hal Jordan is going to become his puppet, his slave, because he can control the dead. So he's buried Sinestro and Hal Jordan alive. They fight their way out, and they have this big smackdown with Black Hand, trying to defeat him and take him out. Meanwhile, the Guardians of the Universe are beginning to put their plans into process, into action. We've seen since the beginning of the New 52 that they've had this plan, and they've talked about this third army they're going to rise, and they've been doing shady stuff in the background. Finally they come forward. Now we get to find out what their plan is, what the third army actually is going to be and entails, and what their overall scheme is, and what they feel the next phase is. Really good book. We get to learn loads more about the history and the mythos of the Green Lanterns. It's just a great book. It looks gorgeous as well, as you'd expect from Ethan Van Sciver. He does a great job on the book, with some really great art all the way through. Really coloured well as well, but it's just fantastic, and he does a fantastic job on Black Hand. He makes Black Hand look really creepy and scary. If this is a sample of what Rise of the Third Army is going to be, I'm definitely on board. Really enjoyed this book and really excited about the future, and I give it a thumbs up. Next up we have Justice League issue 12, written again by Geoff Johns, art by Jim Lee, and this issue concludes the whole David Graves storyline. And what I liked about this issue is that story concludes in the beginning of the issue, so you don't have to sort of like wait for the fallout, next issue. This issue that finishes halfway through, so then the end of the issue we get the fallout, and we get to see the consequences of the story, which was the part of the story I enjoyed the most. We get to see the smoochy moochy between Superman and Wonder Woman. I might show you that, the moment everybody's talking about, and there's some really big stuff that happens in those last few pages. We also get a look at year 2. They do a nice little preview of year 2 that's illustrated by Ivan Reis. Not Jim Lee, no, Ivan Reis. And then David Finch illustrates. At the back you've got a preview of Justice League of America that's coming in January next year, which I look forward to because I like the lineup of that team. It looks awesome. So, and when you've read this comic, you can sort of begin to understand why there would be a separate Justice League of America to the Justice League. You read what happens at the end of this issue, you will understand a bit more. Yeah, but year 2 looks like it's going to be a really good year. This is a really strong issue, concludes the story really well. We get to find out as well exactly what it is that happened to Graves' family, and Jim Lee's art throughout is really good, really great, and I enjoyed this book, and I think it's been getting better. I felt I enjoyed the first story, but then I thought it did, when they sort of jumped to the present day, I felt the comic did struggle initially, but then I think they found their feet again now, and I think this whole Graves storyline I've really enjoyed, and I think this issue has been their strongest yet, and it looks promising for year 2 of Justice League. Give it a thumbs up. Next up we have Before Watchmen, Minutemen, issue 3 of 3, written and illustrated by Darwin Cook. I love the art on this. What Darwin Cook does so well is it really feels like a vintage comic. It's set in 1940 and it feels like it's set in 1940. The art really makes it feel, you know, vintage. The story kicks off, of course, it's the aftermath of the comedian raping Silk Spectre. The rest of the Minutemen kick him out of the group, but it doesn't go quietly. You wouldn't expect Eddie Blake, the comedian, to go quietly, and he doesn't, and he reveals that Hooded Justice and Captain Metropolis are a couple, and that not only are they gay, but they're a couple, and which shocks some of the members of the group. The rest of the issue then sort of concentrates on Night Owl and Silhouette. And Night Owl's got a bit of a crush on Silhouette. They're good friends and they help each other a lot. And Night Owl likes her so much that he even reveals what his identity is, so she can contact him should she ever be in trouble. But he doesn't know yet that she's a lesbian, so there's going to be no romance for Night Owl. But it's a really well written book. I really like Hollis Mason, Night Owl. It really comes across as a great character, and maybe if they're going to continue these books, maybe Darwin Cook, if he could come up with a story, could do a Night Owl one, Hollis Mason Night Owl, before Watchmen one. But Darwin Cook's doing a fantastic job. This has consistently been the best of the before Watchmen books, and I give it a thumbs up, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing, we've got 3 issues left, and I'm looking forward to seeing where Darwin Cook goes with the rest of the series. So, thumbs up. Next up we have, from Valiant Comics, we have Exo Manowar, written by Robert Venditti, art by Carrie Nord. Last issue we saw Arik return to Earth. He was abducted by the Vine in the year 402 AD. He returns to Earth 1,600 years later. However, he doesn't realise that much time's passed, and he thinks the Roman army is still in charge. So he attacks, thinking that it's the Roman Empire. And slowly comes to a realisation this isn't the world he left. Meanwhile, the Vine, they want their armour back. They want the Exo Manowar armour back and their agents on Earth, because remember in issue 1 they left that seedling on Earth and disguised it as a human baby, when in fact it was one of the Vine. Now they've got a whole network of people on this planet who all seem to be in positions of power and influence, and they are going to execute the plan to try and get back the Exo Manowar armor. A really good issue we get, and also we get a really nice preview of next issue where Ninjak is going to come into it, and it looks like Ninjak is going to be hired by the Vine to get the armor back. But yeah, this book's been fantastic. Really recommend jumping on board and getting this book. If you're a bit tired of Marvel and DC and you want something to try a different company, Valiant, they're doing a fantastic job. And don't worry if you've not been reading it. They do this fantastic inside page where they recap everything you need to know about the first 3 issues. So you know you can pick up this book and totally get into it from issue 4. But it is a fantastic book, and I'm looking forward to seeing, now that Arik's back in the present day. Initially the whole thing was getting back to his family, and it'll be interesting to see what he does now, and what the Vines, what the Vine are going to do to get back this armor. So yeah, I'm enjoying this book, and I give it a thumbs up. Next up we have Aquaman issue 12, written by Jeff Johns, art by Ivan Reis. This book is just fantastic. Johns has just done a fantastic job on this book and with this character, but also the art by Ivan Reis is just, again, is just awesome. You got this fantastic picture. Here's Black Manta being attacked by Yawara and her cats. But it's a brilliant book. Black Manta wants to get the 7th relic, thinking that this is going to help him not just kill Aquaman, but also make his life a misery. Mira has joined up with the others. They manage to find where Black Manta is to help Aquaman, and there is a death. And it pushes the story forward, but also adds more to the end. Issue 13, we're going to get the conclusion, which we've got to wait 2 months for. But this book's brilliant. I'm really enjoying it. The art is great, and just what he's done with the character is brilliant. At the moment, it isn't really a jumping on point because so much story has gone, but certainly they're starting to bring out the trades. Pick up the trades, you won't regret it. He's done a fantastic job with a character that has mainly been mocked and laughed at, and Jeff Johns has took this character and made him badass again, and the artwork from Reese just really, it's just a perfect package, and give it a thumbs up. Next up we have Justice League International, the annual #1, written by Jeff Johns and Dan DiDio, art by Jason Fabok. This issue, Booster Gold's trying to keep the team together. He's added 2 new members in Blue Beetle and the Olympian. Guy Gardner leaves though because he's fed up with Booster's lies. Brother I regains control over OMAC, and OMAC attacks the team, and all hell breaks loose. All in all, I liked this story. It really concludes Booster Gold's story well, because Booster Gold came in this thinking he was going to get glory, and that's what he's been looking for, glory and fame. That's why he travelled back in time to 2012. But this story gets to the final of his journey of him rising up to be more than he was, to be a hero, and that's where this story sort of finishes out. The end sort of teases stuff to come, maybe in Justice League, maybe in Justice League America, but it does sort of tease stuff that's going to be followed up. So some of these characters I don't think we've seen the last of, but it was a good issue. I enjoyed it, and I'd give it a thumbs up. I don't think it's essential for checking out. You know, at the moment we don't know how much of what we see at the end here, how much that's going to come back in the next year. I think time will tell how big the ending of this is, how important it is. But if you liked this comic, if you like this book, it's worth picking up the annual, as it will be the last time you'll see this team together. I give it a thumbs up. Star Wars Darth Maul Death Sentence, another brilliant issue, issue 2, and again it's brilliant. Darth Maul and his brother Savage Opress have a bounty on their head. J-Bogue has put it on. They've gone to kill J-Bogue. The Jedi have also learned of this bounty, and they want to find Darth Maul, so they've gone to see J-Bogue. Everybody ends up in the same place at the same time, and all hell breaks loose. Fantastic fight scene. And then sort of the latter half of the book sort of deals with the again, similar to Justice League, deals with the aftermath as we get to find more out about this world, about J-Bogue, and even the Jedi are starting to question, are they on the right side in all of this conflict. So yeah, it's a really, really good book, and you know, this was even better than the first issue. The art, once again, I really liked. I thought they did a really good job. Trying to find another picture. There's some really good stuff, and yeah, it's a really fun book. Forget it's a Star Wars comic, it's just a really good story, full stop, and give it a thumbs up. And finally, yeah, I've got through these quick. When I started my books, Green Lantern was my favourite, and reading all my books, I enjoyed them all, and all the way through though I felt, yeah, Green Lantern's my pick of the week. But then I got to this book, and this book just blew me away. I thought it was fantastic, and so I give this. So my pick of the week for the 29th of August is The Flash Annual #1, written by Francis Manowar, and a whole glut of artists are on this issue. Francis Manowar and Brian Buccellato, both right. I'm sure I pronounced that guy's right name wrong. It continues the story from issue 12 of The Flash, as Flash teamed up with Captain Cold to back all the rogues. And what they do is we have flashbacks into how the rogues went from having weapons and technology to use, like Captain Cold have cold guns that fired cold, to being meta-humans, to where they have now superpowers, and what happened and how that came around. And so there's some really good revelations there. Then at the same time, we have little things that from past issues that we thought they've left, you know, they've forgotten about, but no, they come back, and characters and things that happened in the past pop up in this issue as well. So it's really bringing things together from the first year of the Flash as things start coming together. And the last page just had me geeking out, and I'm looking so forward to seeing where this book goes next. Since this book kicked off, it's been one of only 2 books that I've never ever considered dropping. This and Batman, they're the 2 books all through my run that I've never considered and maybe I should drop these. But this issue was just brilliant. I'm not usually a big fan of having multiple artists on an issue, but the way they set it out, having different chapters and a different artist does each chapter, I think worked well, because it differentiates the chapters well. But all in all, this was just a fantastic book. If you're not reading The Flash, why not? It's just a fantastic book. Doesn't get enough praise, and you know, because it's been a really strong book, and there's so much going on. And the character of Barry Allen, the Flash, is such a great character. I don't know how it stands up to how he was before, because I never read Barry Allen as the Flash before. But certainly in here, they're doing a really good job with him, and yeah, really enjoy this book. Pick of the week, so a definite thumbs up. So there we go, that's my comic book review book for the week of the 29th of August. I will be back later this week with the rest of the week. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to it, or give me down there should be a thumbs up or thumbs down. Hope you all have a good day, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.